focus. Uh, People can be ugly and not normal and do things that are going to develop and lead to real success. So I think we spent an awful lot of time on that as a group of sharks talking about it related to coaching. So I'm really curious here. Brent, you're sitting in the background. You set your speaker working. I don't know if you know how much you're able to hear, but um, welcome aboard. And I just want to hear what you're thinking of all the stuff we're talking about.
Well, good morning, everybody. Mike wasn't working, but I got my one of my young ladies that work at the ranch to help me out. First of all, I want to say I appreciate the opportunity to be a part of what I consider hockey knowledge keepers, which are like my elders. That you guys provide so much insightful information. Tom Renney, been a huge fan of yours since growing up in Calgary and seeing what you did with Hockey Canada and watching the hockey players. For me, it was about the people of color, and I always gravitated to people of color on the Hockey Canada, and I commend you. Listening to a podcast of Sean Avery talking about New York. I'm going to New York this in the end of September to accept the Willie Oree. So I did not know that the building is underground.
Yeah.
It is the energy in the building. It's like one of the best places in the world to see concerts, and it's like living history. So I never got to play in the NHL. I played a couple exhibition games. That's all I
Oh,
got. So this is like
yes.
huge to me, and I just want to know where a place that you like to eat, where is something that it must be tough for these
Speaking
small
to him,
town
I'm on a
Saskatchewan,
conference
Manitoba
call
boys.
right now.
Definitely. Yeah. Definitely, Brent. Yeah, that's a great question.
Uh, in about an hour.
Oh, you're on, Willie. Brent, my favorite place to eat in the world was the Colander in Trail, BC. And I did an interview once with New York Times Sports Magazine or whatever, and they asked me that question. The guy looked at me like I had two heads. He said, "Colander and Trail, what are you talking about?" But it had the best pasta I've ever had. There's a spaghetti place and you might like this too, Kinger, because I know you like pizza. Rayo's in Reo apostrophe S in New York is a great pasta spot, and it's I love pasta, that's for sure. And then there's what is it, Monte Cristo's um, on Fifth, great steak. Um, yeah, it's good, and it is quite the place. I can remember standing behind the bench just about everywhere I went, of course. But I remember my first game in New York, Brent, and I'm standing there thinking, "What the hell are you doing here? This is MSG. I'm from Cranbrook. I don't have a degree. I left school, and here I am at MSG coaching the New York Rangers, and I got Jaromir Jagr, Henrik Lundqvist, just great people, great players. And I'm thinking, anybody could be doing this right now. I was, it was pretty, it was pretty special. I learned after Vancouver, Brent, how to have fun again as a coach. I did up to that point in time in Vancouver. I was not good enough, and I promised myself that I would make sure that I had fun coaching, and that as best I could, my family would as well. And my dad was interviewed in Vancouver. Sorry, everybody. My dad was interviewed in Vancouver in the stands, Joe, and he's sitting in the stands. And Steve Armitage, remember him, Dave?
Yep, I sure do. Yep.
He sat beside my mom and dad, sat in between me. He said, "Joe, how do you think Tom's doing?" Fair to middling. Joe's from a different vintage, so he's a World War II vet. Fair to middling. And then he said, "So how do you think the team's doing tonight?" He said, "Hunky dory." And that was the end of the interview. And I used to write their name on my game card before every game, even after they passed on. I wrote Helen and Joe on the bottom of my game card. But Brent, I'm blessed to have had that opportunity for sure. And there's guys on this call right now that had a lot to do with that.
Ask a question about the events there. Like they talk about the event turnaround and the people
Mhm.
you see there and
Mhm.
icons, music icons. Is there any special, like one thing that sticks out on concerts or events or just, oh man, that's like Madonna or that's
Yeah.
whoever?
Yeah. Yeah. Saw Madonna, saw Cyndi Lauper, saw who's the artist that did all the caricatures of Muhammad Ali and whatnot. Yeah, there was always, and we used to go up to room 200 with Glenn and management, and there would always be some high profile celebrities in there. Lots of the Yankees came to hockey games, and we go, they'd come down to the dressing room and meet them. Spent some time with Joe Torre, talked about sports and coaching and whatnot, and which was really cool. The thing about New York is that it's a melting pot of all kinds of ethnicities for sure, and experiences in sport, other and otherwise, entertainment. But what was really good about it is 200 feet outside of MSG, nobody knew who the heck you were. It was it was great, especially if you're losing.
Yep.
Yeah, no, it was good. It was good, Brent. One of those special experiences for sure. If people ask me what my favorite place to coach, I would tell them New York. Um, and certainly one of my favorite teams to coach. My favorite team to coach was the Olympic team.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tom, when you were talking about